Well, hello there. How are you today? Hope you're having a fantastic day. My name's Campbell. This is Autodidactic 2. And of course, autodidactic means to be self-educated. And we all need to be self-educated because it's a very strange realm. And if we're not self-educated, the only choice we have left is to believe what people tell us. So let's get in and see what they're saying.
I absolutely support the family reunion. Having lived a life for 20 years.
Oh, this is such nonsense.
extended
Oh my
periods
God. Do
away
you
from
politicians and even former politicians have zero shame? I am just so disgusted by this, that the level of entitlement that's going on with respect to the family reunion entitlement in particular.
It's not a question of level of entitlement. It's a reasonable step to allow you to maintain some relationship with your family, particularly on weekends. If you are working on a weekend and you're working interstate and you've been away all week, then it is fair and reasonable within limits to be able to have your spouse, partner, children travel with you. That is not an outrageous
No, it is, Stephen. It actually is. It actually is outrageous, okay? No. I think you've made your point. You've supported the entitlement for reunion.
Yes.
Now let's start exploring what other entitlements across the country are our shift workers, nurses, cops, firefighters, our fly-in, fly-out mining employees receiving. What about our truck drivers? My father got up at 4:30 every morning, broke his back to work 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. What support was he given? What support is my husband given, who works in sport? Stephen and Annika Wells will appreciate this, right? Who works 6, sometimes 7 days a week, long hours, long nights, and works for 40 weeks of the year. What support are we giving to those Australians who aren't seeing their families, right? The nurse and police officer, husband and wife, who work shift work and barely see their children. This is an absolute farce and a disgrace from our politicians to anticipate that their time with their families should be rewarded and receive entitlements over hardworking Australians who are watching all of this play out over the last week and feeling disgusted. It is repulsive, and that reunion entitlement should be scrapped. If you want to spend more time with your family, pay for it out of your own pocket or get another job. It's as simple as that. I'm tired of the boo-hooing that goes across both aisles of politics that suggests that your time with your family matters more than Australians who are confronting serious situations and barely seeing their kids who are being raised by childcare centres. Enough is enough. It's disgusting.
Wow. Tell us what you really think. Well, that was cool. We don't see a lot of that, do we? Politicians actually getting, berated and actually called out on the news. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, entitlement. And this is the whole world, right? It's not just Australia. But yeah, in Australia, basically the politicians want us, the taxpayers, to fund their families' air tickets and travel expenses so they can travel with the politicians and spend time with them. So what do you think about that? Because as the lady, the newsreader said, there's so many people that are working 5, 6, 7 days a week, long hours, shift work, night work, fly in, fly, all this stuff, and they get nothing. What do the people supporting this whole system get? Nothing. They just get more expensive food, more expensive houses, more tax, more fines, all of this crap, right? Pay more, while the politicians sit up and tell us that they are above us and they deserve more. They deserve more time with their families. So obviously I totally agree with what the lady was saying there, but please let me know your thoughts on this one.
Every single Australian, young and old, is very soon quite possibly going to be forced to choose between freedom and slavery.
It's all about a devastating report that has just dropped out of Washington, D.C., with extraordinary new information about the Australian government's effort to censor what you can say and do and think online.
Right. Let's have a serious chat, because what I'm about to tell you is going to sound like something out of a dystopian movie, but I promise you, this is real. And it's happening right here in Australia. every single one of us, from the youngest kid to the oldest pensioner, is about to be forced into a choice between freedom and a new kind of digital slavery. And I'm not being dramatic when I say that. In fact, I think I'm understating the danger. Under the guise of protecting the children, the government is about to roll out a system that will give them unprecedented control over our lives. A system that will track our every move online, monitor our every purchase, and scrutinise our every thought. A system that will make the surveillance state of China look like a kindergarten playground. They're calling it e-safety. I'm calling it what it is, a digital prison. And once we're in it, there's no getting out. This isn't some temporary measure that can be rolled back when the emergency is over. This is a permanent, irreversible change to the very fabric of our society. This isn't some far-off threat. This is happening now. And if we don't wake up and start fighting back, we're going to lose the very freedoms that our grandparents fought and died for. So stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to expose the truth about the e-safety digital ID system. I'm going to show you how it's all part of a much bigger plan to control every aspect of our lives. And I'm going to tell you what we can do to stop it, because this isn't just about social media or online games. This is about the future of our country. This is about whether we're going to be a nation of free people or a nation of digital serfs. The choice is ours, but we have to make it now, before it's too late. This fight is just getting started, and we need every freedom-loving Australian on board.
E-safety will need to be satisfied. The platforms are going to identify the users under 16 on their services now, and for the companies to be clear about how they will systematically prevent them from joining their services through effective approaches to age assurance at sign-up.
So how are they getting away with this? How are they convincing ordinary Australians to sign up for their own digital enslavement? Well, they're using the oldest trick in the book, fear. They're telling us that this is all about protecting our kids from the big bad internet. They're telling us that we need to give up our freedoms to keep our children safe. And it all starts with the under 16 social media ban. From December 10th this year, it will be illegal for anyone under the age of 16 to have a social media account in Australia. And to enforce this, the government is forcing social media companies to implement age verification systems.
She has used the excuse of hate speech and phrases like online harm to try to force the Australian government to censor what can and cannot be said online.
Now, on the surface, that might sound reasonable. After all, who doesn't want to protect kids from the dark corners of the internet? It sounds like a fair dinkum effort to keep the little tackers safe, right? But when you start to dig a little deeper, you realise that this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a classic bait and switch, mate, because to verify everyone's age, you need a system that can track and identify every single person who goes online. And that's where the digital ID comes in. They're not just asking for your age, they're asking for your soul, digitally speaking. They're telling us it's just about age verification. But it's not. It's about creating a permanent, unerasable digital identity for every single Australian. An identity that will be linked to everything we do online. Our banking, our shopping, our social media, our political views. Everything. It's like a digital shadow that follows you everywhere, recording your every move. And who's in charge of all this? The E-Safety Commissioner, Julie Inman-Grant. A woman who has been given unprecedented power to decide what we can and can't see online. A woman who has the power to shut down websites, to fine companies millions of dollars, and to force them to hand over our personal data. She's got more power than a federal minister, and she's not even elected. This isn't about safety. This is about control. It's about creating a system where the government can monitor and control every aspect of our lives. And they're using our children as a Trojan horse to get it done. It's a cynical, manipulative tactic that would make a snake oil salesman blush. Now, if you want to see where this is all heading, you just need to look at what's happening in the UK, because they're a few years ahead of us on this road to digital tyranny. And it's not a pretty sight. It's like looking into a crystal ball and seeing a vision of our own bleak future. They brought in their own Online Safety Act, all under the same guise of protecting children. And what's been the result? A complete and utter disaster for free speech. It's been a bonfire of liberties, and we're next in line to get burned. In the UK right now, over 30 people a day are being arrested for things they've said online. 30 people a day for tweets, for Facebook posts, for expressing the wrong opinion. That's more people than get arrested for burglary in some parts of the country. It's madness. Take the case of Graham Linehan, the bloke who created Father Ted. He was arrested at Heathrow Airport by 5 armed police officers for tweets he'd made months earlier while he was in America. His crime? He dared to question the transgender agenda. He had the audacity to say that men and women are different. For that, he was treated like a terrorist. Or what about Lucy Connolly, a mother who'd lost her own child, who was sentenced to 31 months in prison for an angry tweet she posted after a terrorist attack? She deleted it a few hours later, but that didn't matter. The Thought Police came for her anyway. They made an example of her to scare everyone else into silence.
Well, it's a slippery slope, hey? And I think we've all seen what's going on in the UK. People getting arrested, right, for hurty words, you know, for offending people online. I mean, this is crazy. It's insane where this is all going. And like they said in that clip, this is choice time. We have to choose. And I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and some people say, well, we've already got our ID in there to log in and for our banks and all this, and so it doesn't really matter. And I'll stop when they want to put the chip in me, all this kind of stuff. But we've got to draw a line somewhere, right? Like, this is what they're doing, is implementing the framework to link everything up. And then once that's done and everything is done online, this is where they start, if they want to give you a driving fine, they'll just deduct the money because everything's linked up. This is the master plan, right? They want full control. But please let me know your thoughts. Where are you? Because, this is obviously all through the UK, a lot of Europe, Australia. I haven't heard a lot about New Zealand. I know Canada's going through stuff, the USA, but wherever you are, let me know what's going on in your part of the world and what you plan to do about it. Are you going to, get on board just to get access to the media or to your job maybe? Or is this the hill that you're going to die on, right? Is this it? Because to me, I think, as David Icke would say, right, the totalitarian tiptoe. They do these things slowly and slowly creep them in. We give them one little bit of, access, and they take a mile, right? We know the saying. So, yeah, let me know what you think. It's feeling like crunch time to me. We really need to make a decision and decide what side of history we're going to stand on. And if you like this content, guys, please do give me a like, leave me your comments, like I said, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell, all that kind of stuff. And of course, if you do watch through to the end of the video, it really does help this video get out, so I would appreciate it. And there's always a surprise video at the end, so you don't want to miss that.
The social media ban is not about protecting children, because it only protects children from the least dangerous websites. Let me be clear. It's about conditioning the public to accept this loss of privacy and personal sovereignty. It's about perfecting the technology to be used at some point against all of us. And it's about getting children used to government control from cradle to grave. We're seeing the weaponization, the inversion of human rights to justify the loss of freedoms to an extent that just a few years ago would have been unthinkable. No longer are human rights about defending freedom. In this inverted world, human rights are used to limit our freedom, limit our choice of words, limit our right to protest, limit our right to freedom of association and freedom of commerce. This is a move that's an essential precursor to the final stage of their global control agenda, which is the imprisonment of citizens inside home units that are nothing more than human filing cabinets located in prison communities, called variously 15-minute cities, dishonestly labelled as so-called sustainable cities. In these digital prisons, you will not own a car, your furniture, your white goods. Instead, there is the by subscription method, which is well underway. During the government's COVID response, we witnessed these predatory billionaires respond to the virus using their control of the media and their control of corporations like Coles and Woolies to spread fear. Fear that offered as the solution jabs from pharmaceutical companies these same parasitic billionaires own. In this way, $5 trillion was transferred from everyday citizens worldwide to the world's predatory billionaires, all under the protection of politicians who take donations from these crony capitalist companies. This is called crony capitalism, and it's the greatest threat to human rights in our lifetime.
Yes, well, again, I agree. He hit a lot of points there, right? But this is the slow encroachment, right? The slow creep of all of these laws, these draconian, interesting word, right? Laws that they're trying to bring in. It's very 1984. We've been warned about this so many times, and yet people are still buying it. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I know that you guys all understand what's going on, but I just wanted to put it in like this is the deal. And yes, it's happening in Australia now. It's definitely happening in the UK, but places like the US, other Western nations, it's coming. It's coming. We know this. This is Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, the New World Order, the global, citizen things, the globalists. And we all know the ends, right? Living in a small box in a 15-minute city eating bugs. That's what they want, with your VR set on, and that's how you interact with people, right? No more 3D world. So, I've said the internet is eating itself, and I do believe this. I believe that every day is becoming less and less useful, right? It's just full of crap now, and bots and AI, and the same story over and over and over again. And that's why, I go through and I pick the videos that I want to show. A lot of people out there are making videos where they just, I don't know, they just show these random videos, right? It's like they're just watching TikTok and you can watch it with them. But what I've noticed, and it's getting worse, is TikTok's turn into the news. Like because there's money involved, people need to get content out. And so when there's a story breaking, like what just happened in Japan, and thoughts go out to Japan, the earthquake, right? They are saying there's a tsunami coming, but I haven't heard anything about that. But when that came out, every TikToker, right? 90% of they all did a story on it. So it's turning these social platforms into the news, right? Into the whole news. And we all stopped watching the news, what, 20, 30 years ago. But this is what social media is now turning into, and it's because of the money factor. They have to keep getting out content. They're finding what's novel and what's going to make people go, oh my God, and click on their video, and you just get this replication out of control, which is AI, right? It's very AI. AI cannot create its own content. It replicates. So these people are doing the exact thing, right? They're acting like AI. But I kind of went a bit off topic there, I think. But let me know your thoughts. And let's get some thoughts from an Aussie on this whole digital ID, 1984 encroachment. And there may be a swear word warning in this one.
Righto, so I've actually already made a few videos about this, and 2 of them were swiftly deleted, okay? And they were vanilla as fuck. So fuck it, I'm just going to tell you what I actually reckon. I think it's a load of bullshit. I don't think they give a fuck about the kids, okay? They're just using it as a Trojan horse to get everyone on side to implement the digital ID. Alright, they've been sneaky little fucking devils, as per fucking usual, okay? And it's not working. Fucking shock horror, because kids are crafty little bastards, and they know the internet and fucking technology better than any of us old fucks ever will. Alrighty, Roo? So, obviously, It's not going to fucking work. Okay? But they're trying to get you on side to make it seem like a good idea because we're trying to protect the kids. Oh, your kid's always on the phone. That's bad. Or that's fucking their mental health. Or they're getting bullied online. Let's protect them, shall we? Fuck off. Okay? It's the biggest scam in the fucking world, and it's a pretty good one, to be honest, because it pulls at people's heartstrings. Like, their most valuable thing, what the fuck is that? Their kids. People will do anything for their fucking children, okay? And if they think that there's something that might protect them from something that they see as toxic or evil or distracting, they're going to latch onto it and be more susceptible to what's actually coming, which is it's not going to work, which it already fucking isn't. It's only been a couple of days and kids are literally spruiking the fact that they're still on or they've found a way around it. And then we're all going to have to put our ID up. That's the fucking first step into a digital ID, okay? And if you don't realise how fucking detrimental that is, like how serious a digital ID actually is, it's not for convenience, okay? And it's not just a hacking vulnerability, it's complete government control, okay? If all of your shit is controlled by one digital ID, like if you're on welfare or your fucking house loan, everything, if you step out of line online, they can shut shit off, okay? Because you are contained by your digital ID. People need to seriously start fucking looking into this and stop just rolling your eyes and thinking, oh, that's a fucking conspiracy theory. Yeah, it was. Like 5 years ago when people started talking about it. It's coming true, okay? Much like all the other shit we've been trying to fucking tell you. Open your eyes, fuckwits. It's happening, okay? I didn't mean to call you fuckwits. Sorry about that. I'm just so cranky about all this shit, and it's so fucking... It seems so obvious to me that it pisses me off that other people haven't fucking clued on yet, okay? Keep up, bitches. We haven't got much time. Okay, see ya.
Well, there you go. Spoken like a true Aussie. Yeah, I mean, again, right? It's the totalitarian tiptoe. It's the slow encroachment, right? The slow burn. This is just step one of a much bigger plan. Well, it's actually, way along the agenda, right? That they've got us in this position. Then they give us all these solutions, right? The elites, they gave us the internet and they run the internet, right? And they spoke it when it came out as something amazing. It's going to give you so much choice. It's going to help everyone. And the original internet was pretty cool for a while, right? But now it's just restrictive. So now they're going to help us again by blocking the kids from all this social media. But that's all it is, social media. It's not stopping them get on the dark web, the deep web. It's not stopping them get on prawn sites. It's not stopping predators getting into the sites that all the young people are going to go to or do go to, because what they're banning, it's 7 or 8 social media sites, and it's the sites that kids never go to, like Facebook, right, where us oldies are. And the only one they might use is YouTube. But apart from that, it's not going to affect them. And like she said, kids are so much more advanced than we are when it comes to the net. They're just going to get around it, and they have been as well. And here we have a story from the Nightly, Australia. Australian under 16s social media ban. Kids claim the ban didn't work as they troll Anthony Albanese, and that's the Australian Prime Minister. And basically, it just goes down to say TikTok users claiming to be under the age of 16 are slamming Albo, as we call him, his social media ban, with many jumping on social media to claim the ban didn't work. In a video addressed for parents posted to the platform, Albo told viewers the ban was giving children a childhood and parents more peace of mind. Oh, it's all for us. They're such lovely people. And in under 3 hours, the comments were flooded with people criticising the federal government's decision and pointing out suspected issues which would allow children onto the platform. I love how no one has got banned from TikTok yet. Oh my lord, said one user. I'm still here, little bro, said another. So it's already, they're already getting around it. It's already not working, but this is not the point. This is not the plan. The plan is to get everyone to sign up. and when we do this, this is contract. This is trying to get our consent to walk into their digital prison, right? You sign up for all this, and that's giving your consent that you agree that they control you and you will live by their rules. And if you don't, you will accept their punishments. That's what it is. That's it. It's joinder. This is what they're trying to create. And this goes back to, the whole Trans Am agenda and people losing their identity because you're either a man or a woman or you're a corporate identity. So all this changing, gender changing name stuff, that's all basically giving over your sovereignty, right? And saying, well, I am not that. I am now one of these titles, one of these words that the legal system uses, right? So there's a lot going on here, but in the end, we just need to say no. Just say no. Just say no.
Life is not fun or entertaining anymore once you become aware. Once you realize and you come to the understanding that this is just a game we're all being forced to play now, it's no longer enjoyable. I just analyze, hyper-analyze everything and anything. I don't like talking to anyone that isn't awake to the lies and the manipulation. I just don't care. And it doesn't matter if it's family or friends, I just don't want to make the small talk with you because we're not on the same level. And they just don't see it that way. They think that you're the crazy one. I don't want to talk about sports, it's fucking fake. I don't want to talk politics or elections, it's illusion of choice. I don't want to talk science or history facts, it's brainwash and manipulation. I don't want to talk about what was on the news, it's corruption and lies and more manipulation. I can't even enjoy watching a movie or a show because I'm just fixating on the fact that it's programming. It's like every aspect of life is just them trying to further manipulate your mind. And I can't connect with anyone that isn't capable of seeing that. I've been awake for about 7 years now, and it doesn't ever get any easier, and life just gets less and less enjoyable as time goes on. And the only time I ever get just a little bit of relief here and there is when I'm having a conversation with someone that's also completely aware of what's happening.
Well, what do you think about that? Are you in that position? A lot of people are still isolated, definitely after the whole COVID thing, and losing friends, family, all this kind of stuff because of beliefs, because of hurty words, right? Um, and I know a lot of people go through this. As far as being awake, I don't like that term because ultimately, what does it mean? Like awake, like there's so many different levels. People say I'm awake, and there's a lot of different levels. Aware is a good word, right? As we get more aware. Um, And I've spoken about this a lot as well, and this ties to the internet is eating itself theory. Is if you're spending all your time online and you're doom scrolling and you're scrolling through social media and just watching basically the bad stuff, right? The stuff that's more novel, the stuff that's more exciting. Um, yeah, you're not going to have a good outlook, right? The 2D world is sucking you in. It's the prison that they want to bring in, right? So what first thing is you need to get out in the 3D world and talk to real people. That is a massive, massive thing that we've always needed and we still need. And we need sunshine and grounding and the 3D world. And that will definitely make you happier. But all this time, if you're getting all your time and all your information spent online, you're in an echo chamber that is designed by algorithms to feed you whatever they want you to know, to believe. So definitely less computer time is good. Do I think that means the government can ban us all from it and make us do stuff to access it? Certainly not. But 3D, if you are interested in talking to people and seeing real things, check out the links below. There's the Tartaria Australian newspaper. We've just sent out edition 2. And also this Sunday, the 21st, the solstice, I'm doing a 12-hour live stream. And the link to join that is below as well. So come out and join the living. Get out from behind the screen for a bit, even though, yes, one of them's on the screen, but there'll be live chats, interaction. It'll be awesome.
I find it just so insane to just like act like everything is normal. Like I'm just hyper aware of how absurd everything is. Like in 100 years from now, none of us will exist. None of us. Our time is finite. And yet they want me to do a school project where I'm doing like APA formatting. Like, what? I just find it so hard to justify like 95% of the day-to-day tasks that all of society is doing, because it's like, bro, this is not even going to matter. Like, why am I wasting my lottery ticket of life on this bullshit? I went to the store the other day and there's these dividers for if the line is busy, but there was nobody in line. So what did I do? I just like hopped over the divider. And one of the workers told me like, no, you have to like walk through the whole thing. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, everybody's just a slave to the 9 to 5 in society, and nobody's thinking beyond sheep level. And it's just my curse that I have to be hyper aware of all of this.
Here's it a curse. Again, this is all to do with choice and where we put our attention. Right? Yes, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this strange realm. There really is, and they're pushing their agendas, but we've known about these agendas for decades, right? They tell us, and it's focus. It's where are you going to put your focus? Yeah, you can spend all your time, watching, the bad stuff, doom scrolling, talking about, oh my God, what all this stuff that's destroying the earth and how dare they and the government this and blah blah blah. You can do that because you have choice, but there are ramifications, right? Where we spend most of our time, focusing on, that's what we create, right? Where attention goes, energy flows. We are creators. What we focus on most, what matters to us most, becomes matter, the physical world. So let me know your thoughts. Are you stuck in the mires? Are you down, stuck? Oh my God, the world's so bad and there's no one awake and it's only me seeing this. Or have you connected with a tribe? Have you got people to talk to? Because again, that makes all the difference, and all the events that I've done, all the live events and all everything. Like, this is what we hear over and over and over again is people, they don't really come to see me talk. They come to connect with their tribe and to be able to talk and to be able to be free and uncensored. And that's where we need to go, out to the garden, out to the neighbor and talk over the fence like they used to. Know your neighbors, go for a coffee, have real conversations, walk around without shoes on, look into the distance. All this stuff will make you feel much more connected with the 3D world. And this is what we need to do, because the 2D world is just disconnection. That's all it is. There is no connection. The word social media, that's a massive oxymoron, isn't it?
Our ancestors warned us about them and we should have listened. The Romans used this statue to ward off evil spirits because of its grotesque look. The Japanese had the Tengu monster, which according to Buddhist folklore was an evil spirit that brought war and chaos and deceived people. It's crazy how different parts of the world in different centuries have their own way of representing the chosen people. And it's very clear that they're trying to warn you. Be careful.
Ah, yes, the small hats. It's interesting, isn't it? We have been warned through many different books and depictions about people with large noses, can I say this? Geez, we're getting close to the edge here. And beady eyes. Like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere when you start looking. And, then go and look at, people like Jacob Rothschild, right? These people are the same thing. And by the way, Mr. Burns in The Simpsons was actually based on Jacob Rothschild, right? The same evil, maniacal billionaire. But it's true. Have you noticed this? Let me know. Put in the comments, what character have you seen with a large nose and beady eyes? Because it's true, and we have been warned.
Over the weekend that is, in any terms, truly frightening. It came from a known Islamic extremist who wants to raise an army to impose Sharia law here in Australia. His message was met with raised fists and loud agreement by his followers in Lakemba. This exclusive report gives an insight into a world anti-terrorism police are urgently investigating.
They flocked to this nondescript convention centre in Western Sydney on Saturday evening. Around 200 men, another 50 women and children behind a curtain at the back, to hear speakers for extremist Muslim group Hizb ut-Tahrir, call for an end to our way of life.
Eventually, we will bounce back and we will reclaim everything that they have taken from us.
Muslims attending were told Australia's democratic government has to go in favour of an Islamic caliphate ruled by Sharia law.
We will continue to stand up and to oppose your freedom to insult our messenger.
Freedom of speech was top of the agenda, as firebrand preacher Bilal Murhi said Australians use freedom of speech to mock Islam, but not for long.
Now they say they are brave, they have their freedoms, yeah, because you have no stake, you have no authority, you have no representation, they can be brave. But be brave when we have authority. Come forward when we have a representation with an army ready to defend the honour of Allah and His Messenger. They will not. They will not. And that's what we have to understand.
As the only journalist present, the organisers allowed me to record audio but banned cameras. Australian law says we're allowed to film public rallies.
We do have some media present here tonight, so we do strongly encourage the audience not to engage with them.
Bilal Murhi came under police investigation last October after we aired a video of him coaching children as young as 6 to chant extremist slogans. In addition to this latest speech, we've passed on several videos to the Police Counter-Terrorism Unit and the Attorney-General.
If people are engaged in the advocacy or encouragement of terrorism, they will be arrested, they will be prosecuted, and they will be taken off our streets.
Police would not comment beyond saying they are investigating. We expect to air several more videos in coming days. Brian Seymour, 7 News.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is going on everywhere, right? Same in Australia. We've got all these government ministers that are from different societies, cultures and religions and are now making law for Australia. And of course, all these extremist groups. But, the other point is, the government, the anti-terrorist, lobby, whatever they are, group, mass immigration was done by the Australian government. They created the problem. And now they're sitting there going, oh my God, it's a problem. Oh, it's terrorism. We need anti-terrorism things. How about you just stop the influx of people into the country, for starters? So they're not trying to fix this problem. It's all part of the agenda. It's all a scam. That was, 200 people. They said 250, so it's not a massive movement, but they're putting this out there, right, because it will help them bring in their new digital IDs, all for our safety, because they're going to need to know who everyone is to keep us all safe. Like, this is all part of the agenda.
The future is ours. Every ideal nightmare of a Muslim Europe will come true. They can be as mad as they want. I don't care. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house, inshallah. But we have to be a part of that change. And never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise.
Maybe it's me, but I was reliably told by the mainstream media that that wasn't happening. America will be a Muslim country. No. That, by the way, is an imam from San Diego. San Diego. Saying this in the UK, which already many argue is too far gone. I don't think that's an excuse not to fight for your country. We're really supposed to believe that there is no intentional takeover of American culture here at all. Why is every other group and nation allowed to say stuff like this? But the minute you say you want to preserve American culture, you are the bad guy?
Well, as long as you say anything against the agenda, you're the bad guy, right? Those hurty words, you need to be jailed, right, to keep everyone else safe. But yes, it's a worldwide agenda. Clearly, this is what's going on. And these, there's been Muslims speaking out in multiple countries saying the same thing. And ultimately, they can outbreed us. They are, Caucasians are having like 2 children, right? I think it's under 2 children per couple, per family, and Muslims are up at like 10, right? And there's video of them saying, well, we'll just outbreed you and bring all your laws. So, it's really time to make decisions and to start walking into the life that you want to live and to start becoming the person that you want to be, right? Standing up for all this stuff because it's coming at us from all directions, right? We've got the mass immigration, the whole Muslim agenda, right? We've got the digital ID. Then on top of that, we've got all the food coming out. It's all getting exposed what's in the food. In the food, we've got, the governments doing all this stuff. Like it's everywhere, but it's done that way to baffle us. So we're looking everywhere. We don't know what's going on. It looks so hopeless, but it's not. Just step back, take a breath, stare at the sun while you've got bare feet and you're standing on the earth. Um, and you'll see it's just all one agenda, that they just splitting up into all these different things to make it more confusing, right? And to put us in more of a state of fear. But it's definitely time to decide. And we're at the end of a 9 year, right? 2025, end of a cycle. And next year we go into 2026, which is a 1 year. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, right? So 1 year, which is new beginnings, new startings. So I think that we need to tie up loose ends. We need to make decisions and then start walking confidently into 2026 and into the world that we want to create. It's got nothing to do with the elites.
How many times do you think they've actually reset society? That question sounds crazy until you start seeing the pattern they keep trying to hide. Klaus Schwab was already talking about a great reset right before 2020. Then suddenly the whole world gets shoved into a new normal. And if you zoom out a little, you start noticing something uncomfortable. This isn't the first time a reset has been pushed. Look at history. We lost Egypt's advanced knowledge. We lost the Library of Alexandria. We lost whole civilizations like Tartaria, just wiped from the record like they never existed. Every time humanity gets close to waking up, close to remembering what we once knew, something happens, and the slate gets wiped clean. No memories, no context, no explanation. That's why people call us a species with amnesia. We're here, but we have no idea how we got here or what came before us, because someone keeps hitting the reset button. And here's the strange part. 2020 wasn't just a reset attempt. It was also a wake-up call. If life hadn't been disrupted, a lot of people who were completely asleep would have stayed asleep forever. Humans run on routine. As long as the routine feels safe, we don't question anything. But when they try to force massive change, they risk waking people up, which is exactly what happened. And now they're trying to shove everyone back.
Yeah, right. Cyclical resets. Mud flood looks to be the most recent one. 1850s reset. I mean, what do you think? How many times has this happened? Are we talking, like once every 2,500 years or so with the precession of the equinox, the great year? Are we talking like the Kali Yugas, the Yugas that which take tens to hundreds of thousands of years? Are we talking a much shorter cycle? Let me know. What are your thoughts? And do you think this is some part of natural energetic cycles that go on in this realm, or do you think that they're all made made resets? Because I would say that definitely, the COVIDs created, right? Definitely a created reset. But like that guy said, it was good. It woke people up. It got people out of the mundane routine, the 9 to 5. So I definitely would not go back to BC, right, before COVID, 2019. I think it's woken us up. But, when I was first discovering cyclical resets and the reset of the 1850s, that was back in 2020. And like Klaus Schwab he was everywhere saying, we're in the Great Reset, which was very interesting. Just as we started researching, they started telling us we were in one. And now they've got all this manufactured, engineered prophecy of all these weather events that are all created by them, right? We've had earthquake technology. Tesla had it back in the 20s, right? Weather modification, we've had at least since the 40s, no doubt before, right? All this stuff, it's all created by them to put us in fear and to make us believe that the world is ending, that this is a natural reset cycle. But it's not. It's not. It's all a scam. It's all an illusion. And all they want is your attention and your participation. They want you to join with them. They want you to contract to say, yes, you can rule my lives. I'll live under your system. That's all they want. And, all we need to do is say no and resist and have no part in it and give them none of our attention. Because again, the problem isn't leaders, problem's followers.
So I started to study myself. I found most people don't know who they are. They really don't.
What do you mean? I mean, I know my name, I know my age, I know where I live.
Yeah, that's not
what
you,
else
though.
is there?
That's
what
just
size,
it. If you ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are two words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick. Okay. We don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? Well, that's an interesting question. Mm-hmm. And I believe if a person will start to study that and look for the answer, they'll find it. See, I think we live simultaneously on three planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies. Okay. But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
Okay, and would you call that one of the barriers to success?
Oh, there's no question about it. I think there's two barriers. Success is a funny word. Nightingale had a great definition for it. He said a person's successful if they know where they are, and they know where they're going, and they're progressively moving in that direction. He said that success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Anyone that has a goal, and they're moving towards it, they're successful. Most people think that you're successful if you have a lot of money. Quite often you have a lot of money if you're successful, but it isn't. I wouldn't say Mother Teresa has a lot of money.
Okay.
Do you know who you are? That was Bob Proctor, of course, and that was an interview from the 70s. So like 50 years ago, right? And it's interesting just to watch how awareness has changed. Like there's so much more awareness now. All that stuff he was talking about there was probably pretty way out in the 70s, but now most people understand it, right? We do have three levels. We live in two worlds, the inside world, the outside world. We've got the spiritual, the mental, the physical, all this stuff, and I agree with everything you said. And we do need to know who we are, and we do need to be successful in the fact that we need to know where we're going, and we need to be actively taking steps and actions in that direction. And this is what the whole digital ID, this whole encroachment is about too. We need to know where we're going. We know where they want us to go, but that's got nothing to do with us. We need to know where we're going and start to walk in that direction. And just doing that will make you walk away from the digital ID, from all their new acts and statutes that they're trying to bring in, their control grid, right? The AI, the all-seeing eye, right? The three-eyed atlas in the sky. Like, it's getting crazy, the stuff they're pushing out there. They're definitely pushing for an alien invasion, by the way. That may be coming soon. And even the end of the world, they're saying, oh my God, there's going to be a great flood on Christmas Day this year. I mean, there's so much fear being pumped out there. But it only works if we give it our energy, our attention, because we are the creative energy down here. We are the true power. And all they're doing is manipulating that power. The elites don't have this power. They don't have this creative thing inside them. They don't have a connection. They don't have a soul. They are not us, but they are using us, and they've been doing it for a long time. So it's time that we stood up, said, no, I'm going this way, and just start doing it. Start doing it. Whatever you want to achieve, start now. And there we go, guys. Another one done. That was not, talking about the issues, right? But we do have to be realistic. We do have to be prepared, not scared. We need to know what's going on as far as their agenda, but we don't need to know it over and over and over. We don't need to watch 50 different videos talking about the same thing, right? Because that's when we get overwhelmed, and it makes us feel like there's so much more going on than actually is. So there's a lot of good going out there in the world. So go and look for that, right? We don't need to know all the bad stuff. Just need to know the general view, what we need to avoid, and then, we should be taking in good stuff. We should be doing good stuff. We should be conversing in the 3D world and doing real things, making real memories. in my humble opinion. But I hope you enjoyed that one. Please do give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, leave me your comments. I would love to know what you think about all of these topics, which was really kind of just one topic, right? So thanks for spending some time with me. Stay awesome, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.
Oh, watch out, kiddo. That hurt, huh?
Riley, look at me.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Are you serious right now?
One day this thing will fall. One day this...